Good evening, I'm Dr. Dave Wendell and welcome to Shore's Wellness Solutions. We do have such a brief time together that I promise to make it a quality time where you can learn something about your health and how to improve your health and be more healthy, not just merely reduced in infirmity. Tonight's workshop is Got Belly Fat? It's not you, it's your hormones, so we welcome you to that. Tonight we're going to find out about why people have belly fat and why they have trouble and struggle getting rid of belly fat. So first we want to start off with something really important. People suffer from various conditions. They suffer from conditions such as type 2 diabetes, they suffer from cancer, they suffer from cardiovascular disease, arthritis, high cholesterol, chronic pain, hypertension, strokes, digestive disorders, and of course sleeping problems. And there's many more. We could spend the next hour just going over a lot of different symptoms that people suffer from. And yes, you heard me right, symptoms. See, when we look at these things that are listed up here that we just mentioned, our allopathic community talks about them as disease processes. And they're really not, they're symptoms. They're symptoms of something else going on in the body. I'll give you, for instance, high cholesterol, not a disease, it's a symptom. High cholesterol is the result of something going on. It's not the effect of something being wrong. It's the result of something going on. But what would cause high cholesterol in the body? Simple and simply stated, inflammation. When we have too much inflammation in the body, cholesterol rises. That's something we should never ever take a medication for. You should never take a drug for it. And most of all, never take a statin for anything. But when you look at high cholesterol, the question is, why is it high? And this is the things that our doctors don't cover. Type 2 diabetes. Why does a person have trouble with blood sugar and balancing that? It's not the disease, it's the result of what's going on in the body. Same thing with cancer. You know, it's like, let's beat cancer, and let's try and, it's very rare prevention, but it's a matter of, the war against cancer. But what causes cancer? What's causing arthritis? We know these things, chronic pain and hypertension and stroke and digestive disorders and sleep problems. We know what's causing them, but our allopathic community doesn't address them. What they do is they address the symptoms, these things, as opposed to the underlying cause. When you actually address the cause, lo and behold, you can actually take care of the condition. So many people try to diet, right? Diets fail. Anybody in this room try a diet? Yes. You have success? How many diets? 15? Yeah, but most diets do fail. Okay, why? Well, here's some diets we've had. We have low-fat diet, right? You have the high-fiber diet. Ooh, Atkins diet. The Atkins diet, if you read the research, Atkins had 25 people in his test group, only 24 finished. The one that didn't finish didn't count in the results. And the reason it got great results is because everybody on that lost weight. Ooh, that's what they were trying to prove. But what they didn't tell you is everybody became sickly while doing the Atkins diet. The one person didn't finish, it's because they died. Other diets that we have, the LA weight loss, South Beach diet, speed. Yes, people actually use speed to try and boost their metabolism to lose weight. And there's many others, and my favorite, of course, is tapeworms. You can actually mail order a sterile tapeworm, ingest this thing. It'll help you use up your calories, utilize your calories, and you'll lose weight. The question is, after you die, then what happens to the tapeworm? How do you get it out? How do you know it's really sterile? But we look at these, diets fail. They all do, most do. And the reason they fail is because we're missing the key point. Many people are trying to lose weight so that they can get healthy. That will never work. It'll never work. And the reason for that is because the problem is you don't diet to get healthy. You need to get healthy first, right? So let's diet and lose weight. But if you didn't fix the underlying condition, how can you lose the weight? I'll give you, for instance, a person puts on 20 pounds and says, ooh, I'm gonna exercise and diet. So they're gonna over-exercise and under-eat, and they're gonna drop 15, 20 pounds. The brain is saying, oh my gosh, I have this underlying condition, that can't happen. I better put back on 30 or 35 pounds in case I ever go through that 20-pound weight loss again. And they can't figure out why they yo-yo all the time. The problem is people diet to get healthy when they need to get healthy to lose weight, because a healthy body will not hold excess weight. So people that are holding excess weight, their bodies are not really healthy. All right, so let's take a gland, okay? And then on the other end of the spectrum, take a cell. Glands in our body communicate with cells. Cells then communicate back with glands. It's the same thing as if you're going home, right? You walk into the house, you say, honey, I'm home. And if they're home, you expect communication back. I'm in this room, I'm there, hi, how's your day, right? There's always communication back. There should be. However, the way glands communicate with cells is with hormones. There's no real voice in there. And when the cell receives a hormone from a gland, it then tells the gland, thanks, got it. But then something happens. Something goes on in our life and we block that communication pathway. So now you get, honey, I'm home, and no response. So maybe a little louder, hey honey, I'm home, and still no response. Something's blocking that message from getting back to you, from telling your spouse or significant other that you're home. So what does the gland do in our bodies? We get louder verbally, but what the gland does is the gland actually starts to make more hormone. And more hormones then get saved as PE, potential energy. Another word for potential energy in our bodies.
Fat.
Fat, exactly, yeah. And so that there we go. Maybe not, there we go. Potential energy in the body is basically fat. And so what's happening? Our bodies are storing the hormones. That's what's going on. I like to equate that to an old TV show that most of us have watched, I Love Lucy, the chocolate episode. Okay, the chocolates start coming out and she's wrapping them one by one. They come out a little faster, she's getting the most. And then they're coming out in droves and she's just shoving them anywhere she can in her mouth and her clothes and anywhere she can. That's what's going on in the body. There's too much happening in there. But no communication is getting back. In that episode, no communication got back to the boss that it was too much. So, people store fat. And how do they store fat? Well, you're going to store fat one of four ways. First, we have the adrenal body type, ovary, thyroid, and the liver body type. These are the four different patterns that we see as people store weight. We're going to start with the thyroid one first. The thyroid gland, the gland that sits up in your throat, right about here, okay? It's not that big, about 2.5, 3 inches, and it's responsible for metabolism. Okay? When we stand up, it works, it kicks into gear. When we lay down, it settles down a little bit, but it's responsible for metabolism. Remember, we have a gas pedal so we can go, and we have a brake. The thyroid is more of the brake. The thyroid, okay, if a person gains weight from this, they gain weight everywhere. There's not a cell that is spared. It's all over their body, their head, their face, neck, arms, fingers, legs, torso, everywhere they're going to gain weight. And that's a thyroid body type. These people are going to have a low metabolism. They tend to do things slowly, okay? They're the people that are depressed. They're the ones that, doom and gloom in the world and, they can't go on. And so think about that when you have someone in your life like that. Why? There's usually a thyroid issue. It does not mean they need a drug. It means they need that thyroid fed, that thyroid fixed. Not stimulated with drugs, but actually fed so it can function the way it's supposed to. These people have a low focus. What were we talking about? Oh, right, thyroid. Okay, they don't remember. They're disorganized. What does that mean? Where are my keys? Right? These are the people looking for their keys as their keys are in their hand. They're looking for the sunglasses that are on their head for an hour. These are the ADD, ADH people. These are the people that, they get back, they get in the house, they have to run upstairs for something. When they get upstairs, they forgot why they went upstairs. These are your thyroid people. They have unfinished projects. They have 39 things that they started at home. They're about to start number 40, and they never get more than halfway done with anything. Best way to stop that is stop starting projects and start finishing ones that have already been started. Just pick one. These are the people that are checked out. You know these people. You're talking to them and they got the lights on, but nobody's really home upstairs as you're having that conversation. These people experience high cholesterol, low protein synthesis, right? Well, what does that mean, low protein synthesis? These are the people that have the dry, brittle hair, okay, thinning eyebrows, they have the popping, cracking joints, and what I call the bye-bye arms. They wave goodbye, and when they stop, the arm keeps waving. The reason for that is the skin is attached to the muscle by something called fascia. And the fascia is not built very well because they can't synthesize or process proteins. That's a thyroid body type. They have vitamin deficiencies. I equate this to like you go to a parade, you're looking for little Johnny to go by in the band or scouts or something, and you're watching, and you get a tap, what? He already went by. You missed it, right? So what happens with this? Vitamin deficiencies, the body can't process vitamins correctly, And so we're deficient. As they go by our cells aren't taking them in. Big issue with that. These people are fatigued. They sleep all night, they get up, they're ready to go back to bed. These are the people that, when they start thinking about moving, they're tired. They're exhausted all the time. They like their afternoon naps. They're cold. They want to wear socks to bed in the summertime. They can never get warm, thyroid type. And they have a low libido. And of course, lastly, they're going to crave carbs. They're going to crave the thing that's getting them involved in this. So thyroid body type, remember, where they have a high cholesterol. There's some dysfunction going on between the thyroid and the liver there. Yes, there is. They're craving carbs. Your sugar addicts, your carb addicts, most likely are thyroid body type people that have problems with their thyroid, and they have a low libido. Okay, so know that about thyroid. Other than that, these people are perfectly healthy. Next body type we have is the adrenal. The adrenal glands are your stress handling glands. Back in the 50s, the medical profession really stopped looking at these until you developed Addison's disease. Addison's disease is pretty much the adrenal glands are just about shot. And then they finally say, oh, let's do something. And the reason is they don't know how to do any markers to see if the adrenals are working or not, or they didn't for many years. The best test for that would probably be a saliva cortisol test where you're doing 4 saliva samples during the day and 1 in the middle of the night. That would be the best test for that. But the adrenal glands, they're about the size of a pecan, about yay big. There's 2 of them, 1 on each side, and they sit right on top of your kidneys. So think of it like a hat to the kidneys. So if you went in from the belly button, a little out and up, and then from the side and went, and your fingers met, you'd be pretty close to the adrenals. The adrenal glands pump out 51 different hormones, okay? Epinephrine, norepinephrine to help balance the blood sugars, but the one we want to talk about is cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone that we cannot live without, but too much of it, what's it going to do? It's going to cause us to get fat. Where? Well, we're the adrenals, right here. So it's going to cause fat right around the belly, just like that. These are the people that are going to get fat. They're going to have the pendulous abdomen that will start swinging. They're the ones that, they got the belly that dunlap over their belt, okay? But that's where they're going to store fat. Things that the adrenals are responsible for. Stress. These are the people that have trouble handling stress. Everything is stress. These people are going to be depressed. Not like your thyroid people. These people are just like, it's another day. Where the thyroid people are like, doom and gloom. Okay, so there's a big difference in that. The adrenal glands are responsible for sleep. Okay, I think that's on here, but we'll get to it. Chronic pain. Pain should resolve within 7 to 10 days. Don't believe me? Ask someone that's ever had surgery or a broken bone, right? What happens? Usually within 7 to 10 days, they're out of pain, okay? Because the body responds. But if somebody has chronic pain, there's an attachment to the adrenal glands, and that needs to be handled. The meridians, the electrical connections, actually have to be taken care of, in a sense, unwired, so that the pain will go away. But if you don't take care of the adrenals, that chronic pain will always exist. These people are going to have fluid retention. These are the people that, when they pull their socks down, their stockings at night, they have that elastic ring, and you can see every fiber of the sock. Okay, that's fluid retention, right? That's a mineral imbalance. And so what's happening? You're not getting the right pressure inside the body because the minerals are lacking. You need more minerals. Just don't go out and take minerals. It's specific ones that you need. But that's how you can tell that there's a mineral imbalance or fluid retention. These people are going to have decreased oxygen. You know these people, right? You don't need to go on a fancy test. Walk up a flight of stairs. See if you can walk up that flight of stairs and keep going versus the people that have to stop for a second, take a breath, and then move on. That's when they have an oxygen issue, okay? The adrenal glands are going to have sleep disturbances. These are the people that, they're stressed out, they can't fall asleep because everything's still going, the mind won't settle down. Or these are the people that in the middle of the night, 1 a.m., 3 a.m., boom, they're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, they can't get back to sleep, and they're up. Or they're up several times a night. That's sleep disturbance. This is an adrenal person. This is an adrenal symptom. Adrenal people can make protein. Good hair, good skin, good nails, right? But the protein breaks down. The cortisol goes to the muscle tissue, particularly in the legs, and starts breaking down the muscle tissue, turning it into sugar, and then storing it around the belly, right? But they're breaking down the muscle tissue. In severe cases, you see that big pendulous abdomen, and these people have really skinny arms and legs. You see these people, they're outside, what do we have here? Tim Hortons, they're outside Dunkin' Donuts, right? What are they doing? Smoking a cigarette, they're holding a cup of coffee, and they got a bagel or donut on top of the car, and they have kind of like this posture going on. Those are your stressed out people, your adrenal stress. They're going to crave chocolate and salt. Why? Not Hershey's chocolate, but real chocolate, dark chocolate, 72, 85 or higher, because the dark chocolate will create some serotonin, so when they go to sleep, what's going to happen? They'll get that extra 5 minutes. They're going to crave the salt because of the mineral imbalance with the fluid retention. The adrenal people with sleep, when we sleep at night, we go through 4 sleep cycles. Each cycle is roughly about 90 minutes, so we need 7 hours for sleep. You need about half hour to settle down to get into sleep. Go through your 4 sleep cycles, you're at 6.5 hours, and about half hour to come out of it as an adult, or longer. Okay? It should be solid sleep. If you're having trouble with the sleep cycles, with sleeping at night, you have to find out when your cycles start. What do most people do? They get home at night from work, they have dinner, they go sit on the couch and they turn the TV on. So they're gonna watch TV till what? 11 o'clock at night, maybe 11:30 when the news is over, and then they're gonna head upstairs and go to bed. But what did they do during that couch time? You're right, they fell asleep, right? So they're sitting down there watching the show, and about 9 o'clock, they're out. Guess when their sleep cycle started? 9 o'clock. Guess when they should be up in bed? 9 o'clock. Listen, nobody's gonna become brilliant watching TV at nighttime. Nobody's gonna become just overly excited and happy about life watching the news at night. Shut that stuff off. Go to bed when your sleep cycles start. Try that for 2 weeks and see what happens, those of you watching this at home. But try that, it's just incredible. I fall asleep at 9 o'clock at night, I'm gonna make it a point to go to bed at 9 o'clock and watch what happens over the course of 2 weeks of doing that. You actually start getting more sound sleep. Yeah, you might wake up a little early, but you're gonna get your sleep, so it's really fantastic. Other things, asthma, allergies, and anxiety with adrenal body types. Remember, these people are stressed. They have trouble adapting to their environment. And that's what's happening with the asthma, the allergies, and the anxiety. Their bodies are not adapting to their environment. Okay, the whole world is just boxed in and closing down on them. That's what's happening. They're not responding. These 3 things, also there's more going on. There's more things with essential fatty acids and calcium imbalances in the body, but that's where you want to start. There's also some B complex issues. Never buy, side note, never buy synthetic vitamins in the store. How do you know they're synthetic? All the stores sell synthetic vitamins. That's all they sell. They don't sell whole food supplements. Don't buy them. You're wasting your money and you're destroying your heart. Not sure? Check out our heart sound recorder workshop that we're going to be doing in just a couple weeks. All right, back to the adrenals. The adrenal people have high blood pressure. Why? Why does stress give you high blood pressure? Oh, I'm going to the doctors, right? You get to the doctors and they take your blood pressure and it's high. Oh, we want to put you on the drugs, your pressure's high. And you're thinking, but I take it in the stores, I take it here, I take it there, it's never high. Why the doctors? It's that stress. The adrenals are producing excess cortisol under stress, right? When you have pain, they're producing excess cortisol, right? All these things, you're producing excess cortisol. You're wreaking havoc in the body. So what's going to happen with excess cortisol? We're going to have vasoconstriction. The blood vessels constrict. And when they constrict, what does the heart have to do? It has to beat harder to push the blood through. So when you go to the doctor's office for any kind of testing or checkup or whatever, and you're a little stressed about what you might find, you're going to pump out excess cortisol, you're going to get vasoconstriction, and your pressure's going to be up. So the doctor's going to take your pressure, and what are they going to say? Oh, you have high blood pressure, you need a drug. No, I need to be out of your office because it stresses me out. Not sure about this? I'll give you a simple test. Get a coffee stir, get a straw if you've never done this before. Get a glass of water, get a Slurpee, get something. Put the straws in there, and suck real hard on the coffee stir, right? And suck real hard to see what you can get up through there. And you're like sucking really hard on that and you're barely getting anything through there. Then go to the straw, right? What do? We tend to suck real hard on the straw and then we darn near drown ourselves. And so that's the difference. The vasoconstriction, that coffee stir, is your blood system, your vascular system under adrenal stress. And that's why these people tend to have high blood pressure. Cholesterol's fine, but the pressure's up. They're going to have facial hair in women. Guys, if we're adrenal stressed, you think we're going to notice we have more facial hair? No. You think the women are going to know? Oh, yes, they are. And they're going to come in and complain about the hirsutism. They're also going to have a suppressed immune system. When we are adrenally stressed, our body's stressed out, the adrenal glands are struggling, they're gassed, right? So what happens? We go, and then exhaustion. And when that happens, our immune system becomes suppressed. Cortisol, right, suppresses the immune system, the microbes in our digestive tract, and we become sickly. We become susceptible to different disease processes that are out there. Other than that, these people are pretty healthy. Next body type we want to talk about is the ovary body type. Ovaries are in the pelvic basin of women, if you're not sure where they are. And so these women, you'll see them behind a counter, a hedge or something, and from the belly button up, you're like, wow, they look really good. And when they step out, you're thinking, whoa, different country, right? This is the game that the kids play where they have the blocks, like you have the head and the torso and the lower body and the legs, and they spin and they mix and match them. That's what it's like. I spent some time in the city of Philadelphia with seminars and stuff, and this is very prevalent there. And so from the belly button down, that's where the fat is. Down here in the lower abdomen, the big old saddlebags here, and the big old bedunking on butt that's back here. And I mean, it can be really out of proportion for women. And men can look like this too. You say, what? How can men look like this? Men don't have ovaries, you're right. But both men and women produce the same hormones, just different amounts. Women produce more estrogen. That's why when they go through puberty, they get that hourglass shape. Men, we produce more androsterone. Okay, that's why and more testosterone. That's why we get, that G gives us a manly look. Okay, so that's what's happening with the hormones. But anyway, back to why men can look like this. So men can look like this because if they are estrogen sensitive, where are they going to gain weight? From the waist down, legs, and the bottom, right? But what are men going to do and eat to be estrogen sensitive? Well, they are estrogen sensitive, some of them, but what are they going to be eating? Yeah, you got it. They're going to be eating foods of commerce, but not the breads, pastas, and cereals. They're going to be eating more the meat. They're eating the stuff that has benign growth hormones. And why do farmers use that? Well, let's think about this. You know what a peep is, right? I'm not talking about the marshmallow thing at Easter time that comes around with all the different colors of sugar on there. Peep, I'm talking about a baby chicken. When a baby chicken hatches, it takes 6 months for that chicken to become an adult. But if we give it growth hormones, we can do it in about 6 to 8 weeks. Ooh, that's pretty quick. So think of the turnover on that. If we take a cow, it takes 2 years, 24 months for a calf to become a full-grown heifer ready for slaughter, 2,000 pounds. But if we give it growth hormones, 8 months. Growth hormones are estrogenic. So if we're putting that in our meat, so think about it. They can make a turkey a butterball size. What are these hormones doing to us? So men that are estrogen sensitive, when they eat those meats, guess where they're gaining weight? Yeah, just like the ovarian body type. So these women are blessed. They're the ones that get the cysts and the fibroids, okay? They're the ones with the irregular menstrual cycles, 6 days, and then 72 days, and then 45 days, right? Because they have an ovarian issue. Their hormones are out of balance. No, you don't need to run to an endocrinologist and get pharmaceutically produced hormones. That's bad. Like Premarin. Premarin is a big hormone that they give to women. Did you ever look that up? Premarin, pregnant mare urine. That's where the hormone comes from, out of the urine of pregnant horses. And so I would not be in a rush to put that in your body. And think about the size of a horse and the size of a human. Why do you want to put horse hormones into your body? That's ludicrous. How about we do something really radical? We start exercising regularly for our body type and, get this, change our diet. Can you imagine that? CDC back in 2010 said that if all Americans went on a whole food diet, what we teach here at Shores Wellness Solution, in 8 months, 80% of all disease processes that we know in the United States will be gone. That's pretty powerful. Try and find that study, it's hard, it's buried now. All right, regular menstrual cycles, right? Because what's happening? Excess estrogen. They're gonna get cyclical headaches, acne, and moodiness. You know when, about a week before, during, to the week after, okay? These are the women that suffer with PMS. They have fertility problems, right? These are the women who have trouble getting pregnant. Then they wanna put them on different hormones. Why? They're already struggling there, right? They're gonna get vaginal dryness, hot flashes, okay? Incidentally, most hot flashes are due to adrenals. So when you're getting cyclical hot flashes, and we see these when we do thermography, you get someone says, oh, I'm having a hot flash, and they're just lit up like a Christmas tree for a few seconds until it passes, sometimes a few minutes. Night sweats, right? They'll get that. They're gonna be sensitive to estrogen, and they're gonna crave dairy. And so these are the things that are happening with women who have ovarian issues. And so they have all this stuff going on, and what are they doing? They're gaining weight from the belly button down. So if you know somebody like that, you know their ovarian body type. All right, last one, liver body type. You know this guy or gal, but usually guys, right? This is the guy that goes away to college, gets that freshman 15, Okay, and then as they go through their workforce, they finish, they gain all this weight, and it looks like they swallowed a basketball by the time they're 65. They got this hard stomach right here. Adrenals, it's pendulous, has a little motion to it. Liver, it's right here. These people aren't fat. What it is, it's fluid filled. The liver becomes damaged, it's not working correctly, it's leaking fluid because it's a fluid filter, so the brain wants to put fluid around it. It's leaking fluid, we call that ascites, into the abdomen, and there's a sac in there around the intestines called the greater omentum. That sac fills up with fluid, and they got this tight belly. Lay Uncle Louie on his back and give it a little tap, you'll see the ripple go across the back. It's water. Anyway, this person, by the time they're 65, they swallow the basketball, they retire and move to Florida. They're the ones walking around in the Speedos with the metal detectors. You see them all the time. You can laugh, that's okay. All right, but that's a liver body type. These people are sick, they really are. They have the ascites, the fluid leaking into the cavity. They have skin issues, and the skin issues come in many ways. They have eczema, cherry hemangiomas. The eczema is the dry patches that they're always itching, and no matter what they do, it keeps coming back. Now they have drugs for it. Okay, great. Let's stop the process of the poison in the body so that stays, and no, that's not what you want to do. You want to get to the underlying cause. The cherry hemangiomas are the little red spots all around the body, right? The skin tags are the things that grow off the body. These are actually infestation things. The age spots on the back of the hands. When we take patients with the age spots or liver spots, right, on the back of the hands and the arms, and we actually get their liver back functional, you know what happens to the age spots? They disappear. Oh, it's an awesome thing. They're itchy, they get the dandruff, the jock itch, okay? The athlete's foot. Why? They're having skin issues. That's what's going on with somebody with a liver problem. They have wheat and gluten sensitivities. If you ever know somebody that's angry in the morning, right? Every morning you get to work and there's Bob, and Bob's sitting at his desk and Bob doesn't soften up till about 11 a.m. So tomorrow when you go to work, you just pat Bob, hey Bob, morning, don't worry, it's not you, it's your liver, and keep walking. These are the people with gluten sensitivities and wheat issues, okay? And I can tell you, in 30 years of practice, it's rare that I get somebody with a gluten sensitivity. Yes, I know you're out there, and I know you're probably watching going, oh, well, that's me. Listen, I can tell you that more than 90% of the people that come in with gluten sensitivities, it's not gluten, it's a wheat issue. It's how wheat's grown here, and it's just totally loaded with glyphosate. If you don't know what that is, it's called Roundup, and that's what affects the body. How do I know this? Because I'll test people with other grains loaded with gluten, and they don't have any issues. So it's not a gluten issue. Doesn't mean you don't have one. I'm just telling you what I find in my office. Okay, we're getting grouchy in the morning person. There we go. I knew it was in there. Spider veins, right? So the liver's a filter. It's backing up. If it's backing up and not draining, where does technical term? Where does the goop back up? The stuff in our veins is supposed to be filtered out. But wait, if the liver's dysfunctional, can it filter things out? No, it can't. So we end up with spider veins. We end up with these veins that are filled with junk, metabolites that are supposed to be filtered out, but it can't because the filter's not working. These people end up with right shoulder pain, possibly. Pain up in here, right shoulder, right arm, right? How come? Well, the liver's on the right side, and it will refer pain up to the right shoulder. It can refer pain up into the head. I think that's the next one. Headaches. Yep, there we go. Most headaches are due to liver dysfunction. Why not? Yes. Fix the liver function, and what happens? The headaches go away. These are the people that'll wake up in a few weeks, sometimes a few months, depending on the severity, what we have to do, and they'll be like, wait a minute, I can't remember the last time I had a headache, and I used to have them daily. Yes, that's a liver dysfunction. Anybody with headaches, most likely it's a liver dysfunction. These people are blessed because they get both high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Incidentally, in your body, where's cholesterol made? This is right to the camera because these people already know it. Where's cholesterol made? In your liver. Excellent. How much? Right, 85 to 90% of the cholesterol your body needs is made in your liver. Ooh. Our bodies make 85 to 90%? Yes, they do. The other 10 to 15% you need from diet. Why do we need cholesterol? The doctor says it's bad for me. The doctor doesn't know diddly, okay? Cholesterol is used for brain. It repairs the brain. It's used for hormones. You can't make hormones in your body without cholesterol. You can't make and manufacture vitamin D without cholesterol. Our bodies are covered in skin. The skin of a cell is called a phospholipid membrane. It's made of cholesterol. I can keep going, but I won't. So if those four major things are made of cholesterol, and if I take a drug to strip cholesterol out of my body, am I not affecting those? Yes, you are. Your hormones will be out of balance. You're going to start to lose integrity of your cells. You're also going to start to develop brain issues. You're going to get muscle dysfunction. People come to my office all the time with muscle aches and pains. Unfortunately, some of them are permanent. Why? Because of the effects of the statin stripping out the cholesterol. It will strip out the brain and you'll start getting dementia. It can lead to Parkinson's. It can lead to Alzheimer's. We know this. Not we think, we know this. So nobody should ever be on a statin drug. As humans, we're going to look back sometime in the next 4 or 5 decades and go, why did they ever give statins? Get rid of it, okay? Oh, but high cholesterol causes heart disease. No, it doesn't. That's a myth. That's a myth. Look up Ansel Benjamin Keyes. His work from the 60s where he said, oh, this stuff causes heart disease, has been rebuked, okay? And so high cholesterol does not cause heart disease and stroke. As a matter of fact, your heart needs cholesterol to protect it. We need cholesterol in the arteries to absorb the pressure from the heart. Interesting. Huh. Crazy, right? Yep. I'm telling you, if this resonates with you, you need to be here so that we can just have a conversation and see if we can do get you healthier. Bloating after meals, right? Eating meal, you feel bloated. Liver dysfunction. Your liver's not digesting your food. It's not releasing the hormones that you need or the enzymes you need to digest food. And of course, you crave fatty foods like the bloomin' onion, like mozzarella sticks, deep fried things, okay? People that crave those, liver dysfunction. Remember, basketball in the stomach. Other than that, they're perfectly healthy. All right, big question I want to ask. Deep breath in. Good. Only 2 hours to go. I'm kidding. Who knows someone who's a thyroid, adrenal type, ovary type, or liver type, right? And I know what you're all thinking now. I know somebody who's a multiple type, right? Wrong. You can only be one type. That's it. You can only be one. So if you're a liver body type, that's it. You're a liver body type. But get this, right? This is why we get confused. Somebody that thinks they're multiple. Thyroid hormone, T4, most of it gets processed to T3 in the liver. So if my liver is dysfunctional, am I going to be processing T4 to T3? No. So when I do a blood test, I see low T3, high T4, I'm going, oh my gosh, I got thyroid dysfunction. Huh. The thyroid's really working great, the liver's not. Well, why don't we just do a blood test? Well, blood tests are good, but they're compensatory. What does that mean? That means the brain tries to keep them balanced. So you have to lose about 40% of the function of your thyroid before it might begin to show up on a blood test. When we get to the liver, you have to lose about 80% of the function of the liver before it might begin to show up on a blood test. Adrenals, you're producing excess cortisol. Ovaries, excess estrogen. When that gets into the liver, that's going to clog up the liver and create havoc. That's an issue. Yes, it is an issue. And so then you start looking like a liver body type. And if it keeps going on, then of course the thyroid gets involved because the T4 is not converted to T3. And so you can see how someone can get crossed up thinking they're multiple. You have to find out what that primary is. And when you fix the primary, whoa, what happens? You get a person that starts to get healthy. It's amazing. All right. So what is the cause? What causes all these things, right? Well, the cause is ED. ED is the cause. Remember, the glands communicate with the cells, and the cells, right? Honey, I'm home. Nice to have you home. Oh, great, you're home, right? No, hopefully it's nice to have you home. But endocrine disruptors block this transmission. Take a cell. Our bodies are about 60 trillion cells. Each cell has about 20,000 receptor sites. I'm not doing the math tonight, okay? That's a lot of receptor sites. And then we consume endocrine disruptors that fill those receptor sites so our hormones can't get there, okay? When we're insulin resistant, type 2 diabetes, the insulin can't get to the receptor sites to open it up and allow sugar into the cell. That's what's going on. Why? Because we've eaten too much junk over time. We affectionately call it white trash. All right, so what are some examples of endocrine disruptors? Well, you have insecticides, right? Pesticides, herbicides. Listen, if this stuff prevents the insects from finding their way home and producing honey and taking care of the ecosystem, you know, what's it doing to us? Okay, fungicides. There we go. Herbicides, right? Plastics, heavy metal, country western. I'm kidding on country western. I'm just seeing if you're listening. Good. Alcohol, tobacco, okay, hydrogenated oils. So out of all these things, get that one out of your diet first, okay? That's huge. Artificial sweeteners, all of them. First artificial sweetener mass produced for us was high fructose corn syrup, right? Back in the 70s. And they called it that to trick us thinking it was nice. But all artificial sweeteners, and Splenda is horrible. It's chlorinated sugar, causes cancer. Sorry, it's carcinogenic. There we go. Yes, all artificial sweeteners, they're bad because they trick the body into thinking you're gonna get something really sweet and you don't, and then hormonally it just totally disrupts you and causes you to gain weight. Okay, what else? Corn syrup. I don't care what they want to call it. Corn syrup, corn starch, organic corn syrup, cane juice, all that. No, get rid of it. Okay? Artificial colors. Why do we have artificial colors in our food system? Right, because at the end of World War II, we had extra chemical, didn't know what to do, and it was pretty colors, so they put it in the food system. That's why. And then back in the mid to late 90s, people caught on that artificial color was bad, so they looked for the blue and the yellow and the red, and they stopped eating those. But the food companies said, you know what? We're going to mix them. We're going to go with green, orange, and violet. And they did. And then we caught up, and then they said, well, that's okay. We're going to put titanium dioxide in this food. You'll see that in marshmallows because that's blue that makes things whiter. And now they just put the chemical name in there. And when you see natural flavors on the label, you're reading it, oh, and natural flavors. You think that's healthy for you. No, it's not. Natural flavors is code name for this could have up to 137 different chemicals to give you the flavoring of this product. And food companies do not have to list what their secret ingredients are to give them the natural flavors. MSG and flavor enhancers. MSG has about 25 different names to it. So when you walk into your local Chinese restaurant and say, no MSG? Oh no, no MSG. But they are using other flavor enhancers if you're getting that headache at the end of the meal. Good. All right. So why do we suffer from endocrine disruptors? 3 main reasons. First is our families. What are they purchasing that we're eating at home? Are they purchasing foods of commerce? Or are they purchasing fresh food? And is the fresh food organic or not? And if it's not, are they washing it and doing their best to clean it out? So what are we purchasing and eating at home? That's really important. Okay, friends, peer pressure to eat certain foods. How many times do our friends, want us to, have the gummy worms? Let's go to McDonald's, things like that. And what are they pressuring us to eat that's really not healthy for us? And lastly, advertising. Everywhere you look on print and TV and the internet and the radio, they want to convince you that these foods are harmless. They're even good for you, right? Look up the motto for Campbell's soup. Not the motto, that's good. But Campbell's soups. They're our Campbell company, right? Soup is one thing they make. Campbell's is not about bringing good food to us, okay? Their mission is to bring profits to shareholders. Okay, ConAgra, their mission is to bring profits to shareholders. And when we start understanding that, we'll realize these food companies are not there to bring us good, wholesome food. So watch what you're eating. All right, down the home stretch. So in our bodies, we have a central nervous system, right? Brain is up in our head, really important. Then from the brain to the tailbone, we have the spinal cord, inside the spine. What? So think about this. We were made amazingly. We got this hard box that protects our brains. Nice. And then bony rings that protect the spinal cord. But the rings so that we can move, right? That's why we have that. And so the spinal cord comes down and then we get the spinal nerves out that go all over the body. If we were to take away every single cell of the body except the nerves, you wouldn't be able to see every detail of the body because of the nerves. The nerves are just amazing. We're only beginning to learn about them. Then we have muscles all over the body. Now we're looking at the skin. So at the skin, we have over 5,000 points on the surface of the body, and each acupuncture points, right? The Chinese discovered those in the last 5,000 years. But these 5,000 points, what they do is each point represents a different part of the body. It's going to represent a different organ or a different function. It's really awesome how it is all over the body. And then we have muscles, right? And so when we look at the human body, on the surface, we have the skin with all these points. Then we have the central nervous system, and everything is all connected to what? To muscles. So each nerve that comes out of the spine goes to a specific area of the muscle, goes to specific organs. Right? Each surface point on the body is related to different nerves and different muscles. And the muscles, of course, are related to specific surface points and nerves. So if we have an issue with a body, we're able to figure that out by using a kinesiology. Can I demonstrate that? Do I have time to demonstrate that? Yeah? Helen, may I borrow you for demonstration?
Sure.
Awesome, thank you. This is Helen, everybody. She's amazing, she really is. So Helen's gonna hold her arm up here. I'm gonna push down, she's gonna resist me, good. I'm not trying to overpower her. I wanna find out the strength she has here. I wanna match her pressure. Perfect, just like that, so she's nice and strong. So how kinesiology works when we use the body, think of it like hypothermia. If we're out in the cold, and here in Michigan, no cold, all right? So what happens? When it's cold, the brain will sacrifice our fingers and toes, then our hands and feet, then our forearms and lower leg, then the upper, right? So what's it doing? It's sacrificing the distal to protect the core, and that's what it's doing. So hypothermia does that, right? But we're not gonna use hypothermia, we're gonna use some muscle testing. So nice and strong, good. So when we touch over a surface on the skin and it stays strong, awesome. But if we touch a point on Helen that's weak, hold tight, she can't hold that. Same pressure, and then here, strong. So what's happening? When I touch over an organ point, for her, this is, well, for everybody, this is heart, okay? The heart's functioning great, muscle stays strong. But if I touch over an organ point, this is a liver point over here, digestive point, and it goes weak, her body's sucking energy out the arm, kind of like in hypothermia to preserve the core, sucking that energy out and focusing it here to prevent any dysfunction, right? Because the body doesn't want me to destroy this. It says, all right, let's just let the muscle go weak. We'll get that back. So we can go and check right here, liver, gallbladder strong, stomach strong, spleen strong, good, pancreas strong, so we know we have an issue there. So we're able to use kinesiology to figure out, and we do a whole bunch of points around the body, figure out where the weaknesses are. Then we're able to figure out where the primary spot is and then work on correcting that. Thanks, Helen. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Okay. So what did I just demonstrate with Helen, right? With her liver, and we know this, there's a disruptor there. There's something that's blocking the movement of this energy through her body. And so with kinesiology, we're able to pick that up. Awesome. All right. Woo! Let's bring it home. How many people have learned something tonight? Anybody learned something? I hope you did out there if you're watching this video. Okay, I hope you learned that we are able to non-invasively go through and evaluate a whole body to see what parts are working and what parts aren't. Okay, my question I like to ask is, who do you know that's suffering needlessly? There's so many people out there that have been suffering. Okay, they go to different doctors, they go for different procedures and tests, and they can't figure out what's wrong with these people. And so they keep going back to other doctors and referred out to here and more testing and more procedures, and they're just not getting well. Those are the people that I would say belong in this office. Why? Just get checked. So we have a gift. Let's see if I get the right one here. Yes, here we go. Shore's Wellness Solution. We like to change lives naturally. And for watching this, if you mentioned this video, we have a gift for you. The gift we want to offer is a consultation at our expense. Come in, let's just have a consultation and find out whether or not we can help serve you to improve your health. Because what do? We change lives naturally. I'm Dr. Dave Wendell here at Shore's Wellness Solution. Helen, thank you for assisting with us tonight. And I want to be your inspiration for healthy living.